Hello everybody, welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, with another adventure here on Orpheus Plays. We're playing Blade and Sorcery again today, and boy do I have something to talk to you about. I kind of want to be Batman, but... Okay, I'll get to that. Shut up. I'll get to that in a minute, okay? Anyway, I hope you're doing well wherever you are today, whether it is day or night. It doesn't matter to me as long as you're tuning in and enjoying yourself here on Orpheus Plays. We are in survival mode today. 3 weapons come out. I choose one. I make the day very unpleasant for anyone that comes out the doors. And let's see. You know what? I think I'm going to go old school with the skinning knife. Yeah. So let's get things kicked off today with our first victim coming out the doors all the way from Hackensack, New Jersey. Here he is. Let's do our first traditional slow motion kill of the day with our skinning knife. And I totally missed. Oh no, that was embarrassing. Come on, Orpheus, redeem yourself. Redeem. 1 second. I need to redeem myself. Give me a second. Here we go. Nope. Well, let's do a second one. There we go. All right. Now with that out of the way, let's get to our topic today. Okay, so, like I said, I kind of want to be Batman, but it's not necessarily in the thing, okay? I have always had this idea, like, I want to be prepared for whatever is going on, all right? So, wow, you just janked that away like nothing. So I always like to be prepared. I have a I have a backpack that I carry with me basically everywhere, and it's got things like, you know, like hand sanitizer and a pocket knife and like stuff like, I don't know, stuff to make fires with, and like emergency food supply and a what is it? One of those life straws you can turn like toilet water into drinkable water, you know, stuff like that. But why, right? Let's go back to the 1960s, shall we? I was not alive in the 1960s, so everybody calm down. Come here, get off your feet. So, back in the 1960s, there was this show called Batman. And before that, there was a comic book in Detective Comics called Batman, right? Well, a superhero, not a comic book in Detective Comics. Anyway, so this superhero was known for a lot of things. He was known for being, you know, your everyday... Well, okay. Let me qualify that a little bit. Maybe not your everyday guy, but he was the one superhero that had the unique... Oh, boy. The unique distinction of being... You know, just a normal guy. He didn't have superpowers, okay? He couldn't fly, he wasn't impervious to bullets, he couldn't breathe underwater or anything like that on his own, right? But what Batman did have was the utility belt, right? It was that thing that went around his waist, and it was yellow. And it was full of basically everything. It had, like, you know, a little thing he could put in his mouth for a rebreather so he could, you know, breathe underwater. It had, like, you know, smoke bombs and all sorts of different, like, little toys and gadgets and stuff like that, right? And so I always I grew up and I liked that idea that no matter what was going on, like, oh, we've encountered a slippery, you know, bomb or something, and they'd manage to pull something out of the utility belt, like super grip tape or something, right? And they'd always have what they needed, and Batman was outfitted with the... Uh-oh, what happened there? Ooh, a little bit of a lag there. But Batman always had exactly what he needed. And so that's kind of what was neat for me. Just the idea of always having what I needed in order to take care of something. Now, growing up, I was always, you know, I would try to do an EDC, an everyday carry, which it wasn't called that back then. That's a relatively modern term in terms of what it is. But back then I would try to do an EDC, but my mom kept taking it. Because what's in an EDC? Well, normally your everyday carry includes, like, you know, a pocket knife and a lighter, maybe a compass, or, you know, something along those lines to take with you during the day. Well, my mom used to take all my knives and my lighters, and so I couldn't have that stuff. If you want to go back and listen to an episode I have about I am the danger, or I like dangerous things. I don't remember what I called that one. think I renamed it a couple times, but anyway. I've always been fascinated with dangerous things, so my mom kept taking them when I was growing up. So the idea of an EDC when you're younger is pretty much, you have a Mountain Dew and a Twinkie in your backpack. Right? So that's kind of what I had. And when I got older, I started to, my anxiety and my PTSD and my hypervigilance and all that stuff kicked in, and I started having this absolute need. Cut the legs right out from under you. But I started to have this need to be prepared. And it was because, even with the anxiety medication that I'm on, and I'm on some pretty good anxiety medication, I'll tell you that. Even on the anxiety medication, I still have days and periods of time during those days when I can't do it, right? I'm nervous because I leave my house. My house is my sanctuary, as it is for anybody. But for me, it's like a nest, right? I have to be there to be comfortable and safe. And when I have to leave, I have to have something with me in order to make me, like a mobile version of all the things I have at home. Well, how do you choose that stuff? Well, choose the basics: food, water, protection. Oh, no. Oh, and is our drama queen of the day, the one refused to get off screen? Ding, 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 ding. Anyway. So, how do I choose what bag? Because I have way more than one bag that I have, right? Like in one of my my previous episodes a long time ago, I talk about containers and how my autistic tendencies make it so I like to have containers so I can compartmentalize everything going on in my life, right? And that is a trait of some people who have anxiety and things like that. It's kind of amazing that we figure out these ways to cope, right, that aren't necessarily clinical or anything. They just kind of happen. And one of them for me is having a lot of containers. I like to put things in things, right? Hey, don't get dirty, eh? But I like to put things into containers. I like to have the ability to just like compartmentalize everything, know where everything is. And part of with my brain damage, I kind of forget sometimes where things are in the house. Oh, a twofer. Did I get both their heads? I did. And so I have to know where everything is. And so if I have containers, I can go, okay, that container has that in it. Look, I'm not one of those people that labels everything, so I don't have labels all over like the containers, but that also bleeds into the bags. Bleeds into the bags. You can bleed to show my point. Ha 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 ha. But it goes into the bags that I have. I've got 24 bags in my house, like that I use for different stuff. And the way that I choose is how far away from the house I'm going to get, or how oh God. Or how, like, unsafe I'm feeling that day. If it's like, maybe there's a bunch of stuff going on in the news that makes me feel a little nervous about the human race, then I'll take a bigger bag with me, that kind of thing. But some of the things, like, whatever will fit into that bag is like the version of what I'm taking at that point, right? So I have protection in all of the bags. And no, I don't mean like that, okay? I've got like either a stun gun or a pepper spray gun, or sometimes I'll take a real firearm with me if I'm feeling frisky or something like that, right? And it's because I have different size bags and different things fit into them. Well, one of the other things I always make sure that I have is a ballistic shield insert. And you'd say, what is that? Well, you know what bulletproof vests are? Okay, so those things that on tactical bulletproof vests that military has, or sometimes when you see a sting operation with cops, those ones that say police on them, those are kind of what... I mean, cops have them too now these days, now that I think about it. They don't have just a straight vest. They have like a ballistic panel insert kind of thing. Anyway, those panel inserts you can buy separately, and they have them in all sorts of different sizes, all the way from, like, large ones that you can hide behind, like shields, all the way to little tiny ones. And some of the tiny ones are used as side shields on bulletproof vests, like the ones that go on, to protect you from the side. And I've got one of those in a little messenger bag that like slings across my body. So I've got one of those in there. On my larger bags, I have two larger bags. One of them is a a backpack, and that one's got an insert in it, a nice bulletproof shield that can stop all the way up to a light rifle round. And then my bigger, like, nervous bag, like if I'm going somewhere outside of Walmart, which, you know, let's I'm using that as a general measurement. I'm sure a lot of you have a Walmart near you. If you go past the Walmart, you're probably somewhere a little bit further away than where you normally would be, and so I use that as the if I'm going past Walmart, then I'm going to take the big bag, right? And the big bag has all the food and the water and all that stuff in it. But it's also got a giant backpack insert in that thing. I could hide behind that thing. But it's nice to know that, like, if something happens, especially in the times that we have going on today, it's nice to know that I can just kind of reach into my backpack or get behind the backpack or whatever, and I'm completely... Where did my sword go? You took my sword! My father's sword! But... with Arnold for you. But it's like... I have to feel like I'm safe wherever I go. And let's bring it back to Batman. I would love to just have a utility belt. But could you imagine the utility belt that I would need in order to feel comfortable out there? I would have to have one that was like basically a fanny pack all the way around, or like a backpack that I just wear around my waist, because there's no way that I'd be able to go out with just stuff on myself. I mean, first of all, if I was just going down to the store, I guess, you know, the version that the cops wear with like a baton and a radio and and a firearm, stuff like that, I would totally wear one of those down to the store if it would make me look like a complete, like, friggin' weirdo. Because I'm in a state where we have open carry, like constitutional carry for firearms, which means you can wear, like, a giant 6-gun on your hip if you want to, like, you know, it's the Old West. Or you can carry it concealed without a permit, which, you know, I've got my opinions about, but I think it's a good thing for at least what we got going on in the world today. Anyway, that's my little thing today about that. You know, are you someone that has to be prepared too? Do you carry around a bag wherever you go that has necessities, or am I just a weirdo? Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Be good, do good, treat yourself well, because you deserve it, okay? We'll see you on the next one. Bye!